morning. It's about 6:30 and I'm just heading to H2O Restorations over in Bromsgrove. These are the guys that built my machine for me. We had a chat the other day and I told them, they asked me how's work, and I told them, oh, it's a bit quiet at the minute. And so they've offered me a few days work, which is nice. I thought it'd be a good experience as well to work with some professionals that have been doing it for a while. So heading there now. It'll take me about 15-20 minutes to get there, and I'll catch up with you when I'm there. See you in a bit. What's the difference with these then?
6060, more flow rate,
Yeah.
so lets more flow rate through, so the hole is actually a lot bigger.
Why is the whole thing chunkier, like it's heavier?
Because it's just more industrial. These are £130 each.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I was thrown in at the deep end this morning. I found out I was driving the van with the trailer. I've never driven a van with a trailer on before. Definitely a different driving experience. Right, just arrived on site. We're just cleaning the perimeter of this massive car park today. So we're just doing it like a metre out and just cleaning all the way around the edge. I'm not really sure what we're going to be doing with all this chaff and all the weeds and stuff. Just trying to find a water supply at the minute to fill up these tanks. Working with the same unit that I've got in the van. GX 630 I think it's called. Big 30 litre pump. Same again on the back. So they've already cleaned all the block paving, the roller shutter door. They're in the process of cleaning all the cladding, all the concrete slabs. Big old place, isn't it? Right, onto this job then. Now apparently there was a team that came in before us, and I'm not too sure what the extent of the work that they were doing was, but I was under the impression that it was their job to sort of go around and get rid of all the waste, cut the trees back and clear everything for us to then come in and do all the pressure washing. But there was still quite a bit left around the edges that me and Kieran had to cut back and scoop before we'd even started, and that did add quite a bit of time onto the job. And there were some areas that we couldn't even do just because there was so much stuff in the way. There was branches, thick grass, weeds and piles of rubble everywhere. And in some areas we spent more time brushing and scooping than we did actually pressure washing, which I can't imagine was included in the quote. I might be wrong, but we like a challenge and we both did our best, and I think we ended up with a good result. It's been nice working with people this week. Normally I'm on my own and I quite enjoy being on my own. I'm a little bit of an introvert really. There has been the odd occasion where I've worked with Matt and Callum from Solar Secure, and my brother's due to be coming back from Australia at the end of this month, and so hopefully he'll be coming out working with me as well. But it's just nice to have another person around to chat to. And working with Kieran here today from H2O, and then in the next video I'll be working with Nigel as well. It has made me kind of reconsider potentially employing someone in the future, because it is nice to have another person around. And even if they're not able to directly help with the pressure washing stuff, if we've only got the one machine or something, they can definitely still help get things in and out of the van and tidy up hose reels, get the chemicals ready, all that sort of stuff. And it does have the potential to knock quite a lot of time off of each job. And there's a good chance you'll be able to squeeze more jobs in the day. I mean, these guys at H2O are knocking out 4 or 5 driveways in one day, which I think is insane, while one of their other gangs are working on some new builds or a commercial job. So after working with these guys, I can definitely see the benefits of expanding and growing the business. Although, like I've said before, with expansion comes more risk and more overhead and all that sort of stuff. But definitely something to think about in the future. If you want to see how one of the biggest pressure washing businesses in the UK promotes their services, you should go and follow their socials. They've got Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. They post pictures and videos pretty much every day, so go give them a follow and tell them Smelt sent you. Just stopping for a sandwich now. I'm so surprised the water's kept up with two 30 litre per minute machines running at the same time. Full tank. Haven't had to stop once, it's great. I don't have a huge amount of experience with tarmac, and I'd never really considered cleaning tarmac with a turbo nozzle before. But I suppose on a commercial scale like this, seems to be the most effective way of cleaning such a large area. I always thought you'd cause damage using a turbo nozzle, but if you keep the nozzle far enough away from the surface, you can avoid etching it and leaving streaks and lines and stuff. I also found out from Lee, who's one of the owners, that there's different grades of tarmac, and it sounds quite obvious, but I didn't know this. The tarmac on a massive car park like this is going to be much more hard wearing, and the aggregate's going to be different compared to like your standard residential driveway, and so it can take a bit more of a beating because it's designed for heavy traffic. So we've just had to stop. We're in the process of rinsing down. We're doing like a metre around the perimeter of the whole car park. That's what we've been asked to do. Obviously there's nothing we can do about all this sort of stuff. I think this should have been removed from the team before us, who were doing all the grounds maintenance stuff, but they've left quite a lot, to be honest. But we're using the little black nozzles, the black rinse down nozzles, and I think they use a bit more water than the turbos do, which is surprising actually. So we're just having to wait for the tank to fill back up so we don't keep having to stop. These are the nozzles we're using. I'm not sure what size they are, but you can see the orifice size. It's letting a lot of water through. Really good rinse down nozzle, but yeah, uses a lot of water. We've just cleaned these concrete pads. Kieran's done most of this. Getting to a bit down here where it's going to be a bit of a struggle with like drainage and stuff. The water's not draining away, and there's so much sludge and muck, and it's got nowhere to go. Like all this really should have been cleared by the team before us. So we're going to have to just scoop as much as we can into the wheelbarrow, and then we've got a dump over there that we're taking it to, but it is making the job a little bit longer than it should be. Just working my way along here again. We're just trying to stick to about a metre, trying to keep as straight as possible. You can see the tarmac's in really bad condition around the edges, all this growth coming through. So we've had to move water supplies and relocate the van because the hose wouldn't reach. I think there's about 30 metres roughly. So we were right over there, at the back of the building. Now we've moved to sort of the middle so that we can work along that perimeter. Tank's filling up. It's slow progress, but we are getting there. This is quite frustrating. We've been asked to obviously clean the perimeter. Big old pothole there with the bush growing into it. Been asked to clean the perimeter here, but the majority of this, obviously you can see where I've cleaned. There's a bit of mortar where the tarmac's broken away here, but further down it just turns into dirt and mud. There's nothing underneath this, and it's just weeds and bushes and plants growing out of it. And so they obviously want the perimeter cleaned to get rid of all this, but this isn't going to come away because the tarmac finishes there and then it's just mud. And so I don't really know, like I'm a bit of a perfectionist and it's heartbreaking just having to aimlessly clean, and I feel like I'm not even making a difference. I feel like there's no point in me actually doing this because it still looks shit. Now these videos take a lot of time and effort to film and edit on top of trying to run a successful pressure washing business. If you find any of the information in my videos useful, then I'd like for you to consider becoming a paid member of the channel. Circle members and above will get access to my private Discord for members only, where you can pretty much get a hold of me 24 hours a day for inspiration, technical help, marketing advice, or just a general chat. I post pictures and videos that you won't see on any of my other socials. You'll be the first to hear about giveaways, special offers and announcements, and it's just generally a nice place full of like-minded people who are all heading towards similar goals. We've got various different experience levels, we've got a few professionals in the chat as well. If you want to push your business, in my opinion, this is the place to be. We also have two other membership tiers. One is just to show a bit of support for the channel, and the other one is for boosted members, which will not only give you access to the private Discord, but also loads of high quality promotional images for you to start your business. I know what it's like when you're ready to get going, but you don't have any before and after pictures to put on your leaflets. At the moment, there's about 150 images that you can use for pretty much whatever you like, and my intention is to constantly update these over the next few years with all of my before and afters that have helped promote my business. Last thing before I let you go, new videos come out every Monday night at 5:30, and then I go live at 7:30 to chat to you guys and answer as many questions as possible. We do live quotes for real customers and just generally keep up to date with everything going on in the pressure washing world. Thanks for watching, back to the video. We've done our best with this lot. I don't really know what else you can do here. All this really needed clearing before we got to it. Supposed to be doing over in this corner as well, but just like thicker grass and just mud and I feel like it needs someone to come in with like a strimmer and a digger and just cut all the edges back. And I don't know, we've got all the way down to that pile there. We haven't done this corner yet. This is the last corner to do. That'll have to be for another day now, I think. So it was approaching the end of the day. I was getting quite tired and maybe a little bit frustrated at this point. But Kieran got in contact with Lee, and I think Lee got in touch with the owner and just explained some of the issues we were having down in that bottom corner. I think they just sort of said, yeah, there's still a lot of work to do down there, so don't worry too much about it. So I felt a little bit better knowing the customer weren't expecting miracles. And that was actually one of the challenges for me on this job, is because I haven't quoted the work. I didn't necessarily know what the customer was expecting. But I suppose that's the difference between doing a job as a labourer and getting paid as a labourer compared to doing the job as a business owner and having all that additional accountability and responsibility that comes with being the face of a business. And that's not to say that I don't think labourers work as hard, because I know some labourers are worth their weight in gold. But I definitely noticed it was just different. There was less pressure, I reckon. So we're down to just the one machine now. My hose doesn't actually reach any further now. So Kieran's going to carry on. He's got a slightly longer hose than I have. Not really much I can do at the minute other than scoop up some of this waste. But I think Kieran's echoing my thoughts on this bit. It seems a little bit pointless, because once they clear all this out, it's just going to get dirty again, and not really a lot you can do with this area. I think we're going to pack up for the day now. It's approaching 3:15. We've done the whole perimeter, literally all the way around the outside there. Kieran's done this middle section here. We've got all the way up to the gate. Kieran's just asked me to turn the water off. He's going to carry on until the tank's empty. I've not come across one of these fittings before. How do I do this? Oh dear. Might need two hands on this, hang on. Guess these are the big boy fittings then. Anti-leak probably. Right, that's day one done. Heading home, back tomorrow to do some acid washing on some new builds. That'll be exciting. Catch you on the next one. See you in a bit.